sure that most of you recognize the theme from Jaws. It's a perfect example of how music can create a feeling of eeriness and tension. But how does the music actually achieve that? The answer lies in the musical concept of dissonance, which has been used for centuries to make music feel restless and unsettled. To understand what dissonance really means, let's return to the Jaws theme. Dissonance makes certain notes feel wrong, unpleasant or unstable to the human ear. This is exactly what we hear in the Jaws theme, leaving the listener with a constant sense of unease. There are many different types of dissonance, but in the Jaws theme, one specific type is used, the tritone. The tritone is the distance of 6 semitones between two notes. To better understand its effect, let's quickly replace the dissonance with a harmony. With this comparison, it becomes much easier to hear the difference between a stable harmonic sound and one that feels uncanny. The tritone was so difficult to classify in the past that it was given the name the devil's interval, a term used to describe the uneasy feeling it creates. This sense of unease can still be found in modern music today, for example in the production style of Esdeekid, where dissonances are used to amplify the dark and thrilling tone of the music. So now, let's use the unsettling sound of dissonances to cook up a thrilling Esdeekid type beat. So now we are back into Logic, and now let's cook up an Esdeekid type beat. As I said before, we want to use the dissonance to our advantage. We try to build a melody that kind of feels uncanny and has this creepy feeling to it, because this matches the dark feeling of Esdeekid's aesthetic. I think we can just work with the chords we built for our examples. So yeah, this is the melody I came up with, and you can definitely hear the tritone being used in there. We can even change this layer into some kind of string sound, try to an extreme. I like this one a lot. I think we need some kind of lead, which is also playing a dissonance. Let's quickly take this low progression. I want to change the preset for now. I like the texture this one brings. Bring in another sound from Triton Extreme. Now I'm going for a lead again. Let's bring down the volume a bit. Right now I'm thinking about this bell Yeat always uses. I made the pattern longer. We're gonna change the pitch of the bell, so we are always following this dissonance we created with the first melody, and every other layer still has the same dissonance. It always kind of feels off, and that's exactly what we need. I feel like we could change the tempo a little bit, so let's bring it up to 165 just to make it a little bit more energetic and not that slow. What we're gonna do now, we bring all of those together in a summing stack, and we're gonna apply some effects on this one. And the cue to roll off the low end. With Shaper Box, I think we can create some pretty interesting stuff. Drive setting, I'm deciding for this one to ramp that up. Drive is a little bit too high, so let's get it down. This one already adds a lot of movement to the melody, some noise. Bring down the mix a little bit. And this crush sounds pretty interesting. Still need to lower the mix to just make it a subtle effect. New channel EQ, because with those effects there are new lower frequencies occurring. Now I think about the drums. Let's get this classic bounce Esdeekid uses in most of his beats. A snare. This one is fire. Now we're gonna add a clap. Sounds pretty bouncy to my ears. Another perk. Now we need that big 808. Alright. this one is pretty nice. Let's take this for now. The 808 most of the time in Esdeekid type beats stays pretty simple. We just follow the root notes we determined with our first melody, which is, I think this one is, I don't know, I don't care about music theory. I just know it's the same. And let's play that. Something is missing, and I can tell you what is missing. It's the soft clipper. Onto our master channel, soft clipper, soft clip classic mode this time. Bring down the threshold to about -6 and bring the soft clip saturation up to 45%. Let's compare it to the soft clip pro mode. I actually like the soft clip pro mode better, so let's stick with this one. So that's our intro part, and for the second part I actually want to add a kick. Draw in a small little pattern that matches the 808 and the overall rhythm. Some little tricks you can do in your arrangement that are pretty nice for Esdeekid type beats. Bounce all of our melody elements into one audio file. Control B. I'm gonna duplicate that. We transpose it plus an octave. And then we're gonna bounce it again. Here we can reverse it. Man, this has some nasty sound to it. I really like that, but we can make it even nastier by applying shaper box and actually do something similar we did on our initial melody. Use a drive setting for this one. We bring down the volume because this layer is just for the background. It just brings up some more excitement for the part where the kick also comes in. Yeah man, since we bounced all of our elements into this audio file, I can directly go on to the next thing I want to tell you about. We make some cuts in this one. Right here, I think, is the perfect spot to make a cut. And right here, same thing. We can do the same with this one. I don't know what you are thinking, but I think this one already sounds so nice. After we finish this beat, I have to say, yeah, it's pretty interesting what we could do with the use of dissonances. That's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, yeah, consider liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.